Hello to everyone. We are going to go over our weekly update for Dynamo Coin Foundation. Hopefully everyone can hear me. This is the first time I'm streaming by myself, and not sure if the audio is working, but we're going to go ahead and go through it. So this is the weekly update. We're going to do this every Saturday at 11 p.m. Eastern. We'll have, as you'll see, a list of all of the economic updates, what's going on with the chain from a technology standpoint, and then I'll deep dive into any of the technical items that we're currently going over. So without further ado, let's talk about the economics. Price currently stands at about 24 cents. We've had a very wide range as usual, 11 cents to 79 cents over the prior week. The implied market cap at 24 cents is $191,000. And the trading volume for last 24 hours is $1,200. We have seen an uptick in the trading volume. We believe that this is related to all of the market activities that we've been involved in, as well as our upcoming use cases. Hopefully, we're going to see that continue to increase. One of the things that we need to do is get to about $5,000 a day in trading volume in order to get listed on CoinMarketCap, which of course would be very beneficial for the project. And once we get to around $10,000 to $15,000 a day, then we can continue. We can start to look at some of the second tier exchanges that allow for a higher liquidity, right? But they really are not interested in us at $1,000 or $2,000 a day. So we gotta keep that up, and we're gonna keep that up, we think, with our use cases. This is the analysis of our social media. So we've been doing quite a bit of advertising on Twitter and getting our Discord group up. There is a little bit of a fall off because we didn't focus on that in the last couple of days, but it is up very substantially week over week. YouTube we focused on heavily. We got well over another 1,000 subscribers over the last few days. One of the things that we're looking to do is try to monetize the YouTube channel, and so we need to keep over 1,000 users for this. Reddit we haven't focused on yet. I'm not sure what we're going to do with that. Doesn't seem to be much engagement on Reddit in many of the altcoins other than this sort of shallow 100x stuff. So we're probably not going to focus on Reddit too much. And then YouTube hours, again, we focused on that quite a bit, and those hours are up very substantially. This is all, again, in pursuit of getting us into the YouTube rotation algorithm so that when somebody searches for cryptocurrency, that our project comes up in the results. All right, let's look at the analysis. So it looks like we've got quite some good improvements here. We've got 91 full nodes running now. That's an additional 5 from last week. It's been significantly higher over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Lots of people, looks like, coming to mine with us. That's great. 27.6 mega hash as of a couple hours ago. Last week, the high was about 26 mega hash. So that's another record high. We have 488 distinct wallets with non-zero balances. That's plus 14 from last week. So we continue to get more people holding coins. We obviously want to see that much higher, and we do expect that to get higher as we launch our play to earn game. But that's still a great improvement. 18 seconds for the block time. It really should be anywhere between 13 and 20 seconds with a 15-second time average time. So this is right in line with where we should be. And 797,000 total blocks mined. All right, so talk a little bit about what is going on with the project. So we have embarked on smart contracts. We're going to start development. We're doing some of the planning in terms of how the economics are going to work, but a lot of the virtual machine development is in progress now. Some of it has already been deployed to the chain in preparation for merging smart contracts in later this year. We continue to have discussions with 2 game studios about monetizing our Dynamo platform so that they can play to earn or issue NFTs. The whole idea is that game studios will have additional revenue streams based on using NFTs in our blockchain. Our own game, Isle of Trials, is going to put a tentative launch date of October 31st, which is in 1 week. We'll do a little bit of marketing ahead of that, but we'd like this to be more of like a tech demo. And so we just want people to come and play. I think what we're going to do is set up a scavenger hunt where people can log in and run around the island and try to open chests with various crypto rewards in them. We have started rewriting our HTML wallet, so we do have a web-based wallet, but we've had some requests to make it a little easier to use from a mobile standpoint, and maybe just the layout a little bit differently, more of a Web 2.0 kind of look and feel. And so we are in conversations with developers to get the JavaScript Canvas version converted to an HTML version, and we'll also add NFT support, full NFT support. You can currently mint an NFT using the wallet, but there's no searching or viewing or any of that other kind of stuff. So we're going to add that as well. We are working on redesigning our website, so the dynamocoin.org website that represents the project. We're going to implement a new theme for that. That is in progress and should be done in the next couple of days. And then, as we said, we will continue to do marketing. So we're going to continue on all the social fronts. We want to get 10x all of the stuff that we have going on. So you will continue to see that, and then we will start to do some investor marketing as well. Once we have the website redesigned and a couple of the use cases like the Isle of Trials launched, then we're going to really actively pursue investor marketing. We'll have a great story to tell, I think. So. All right, so that is the overall review. I'm going to dive into the smart contract details a little bit. So these are the basic opcodes that we're going to support. Several of these actually are implemented already in the current full node. They are not implemented at all in the miners, and so that's going to be part of the next step in the timeline. But this is all available on our shared spreadsheet, which is pinned to some of our Discord channels. But this gives you an idea about what we're going to implement as the low-level opcodes for the virtual machine. I have some technical examples of or details about the implementation of the virtual machine. So there are going to be blockchain-specific operations that allow you to interact with the blockchain from the smart contract. These are pretty typical things that smart contracts do on other chains as well. And then the specifications for the virtual machine. Our virtual machine is fairly robust in terms of the support of how much RAM, how much ROM, the stack, and those things. This is a fairly robust virtual machine, so we should be able to do some really pretty cool things with this. And I did want to give an example. Oh, sorry. So this is the development timeline. Virtual machine for full node, about 30% done now. We probably can have this done in the next 2 to 3 weeks. There's actually not a lot of design involved. All of the core foundational elements are already in place. It's really just implementing all those opcodes that you saw on the first page, which is really just a lot of library calls. So not a whole lot of complexity left, just a bunch of pounding out code. The next piece that's some heavy development is development of the virtual machine in the miner, because obviously the full node has to execute the VM, but the miner also has to, because they're mining the blocks and solving whatever the smart contract is doing in order to submit the block. So we have to do that development in the reference miner. We have to write some software that allows smart contracts to be deployed to the chain. So this is a piece of software that takes all of your opcodes. It's basically a compiler, and it generates the binary file that's actually loaded up to the blockchain. I already have a reference version of this completed. It's actually in our GitHub in a public repo. You can find it as called Dyn contract loader. This will need to be completed for all of the opcodes, but this is well on its way and definitely will be ready for deployment with the virtual machine for the miner. So once we have everything done towards the end of November, we will set up a parallel test net that has all the full nodes and the test binary for the miner. And then we'll need some community help, right? We're going to need the community members to set up some test full nodes and set up test miners and help us deploy some contracts and test it all out. This is a fairly complex deployment. There's lots of opportunity for security problems and breakage and everything else, and so we'll definitely need community help with this piece. Probably 2 or 3 weeks after that, we will do a merge binary, and what that is it runs on the old code until a certain point, and so we'll all pick a block number. Let's call it block 1 million, maybe. I don't know. That's probably already passed by January 7th, but whatever. We'll pick some arbitrary block number, and these new binaries will work kind of the old way until that specific block. And then when that block comes, everybody switches to the new way, and all of the software has everything all built into it already. So that's why we kind of call it a merge. So there will be a 1 block switchover, and hopefully that fork we can do on middle of January, middle to late January, let's say, but hopefully middle of January we'll be able to fork over. Couple of remaining questions. The miner, we have to think about if it's going to still support CPU mining. I'm not sure if anybody is still doing that just because the hash rate is so high now. CPU mining may not be viable. I don't know. But if we are going to support CPU mining, then we'll need to support a virtual machine in both CPU and GPU, because the GPU miner is written in OpenCL, which is different from the CPU miner, which is written in C++. So if we decide that we do need to support both, that will be double the programming in the miner. We need to think a little bit about using the Coinbase transaction for the outputs of the smart contract. The way that the smart contract sends money to people is by adding additional outputs to the Coinbase transaction, and we need to think about how are we going to do that from a secure standpoint, because now it's going to allow miners to create arbitrary Coinbase transactions. And consensus should make it work, but we need to make sure that all the ordering and the sum and all that stuff all kind of comes together. So there's a little bit of theory that still needs to be done. We're going to have to coordinate with our exchanges. So we're listed on 2 exchanges now. When we do this upgrade, that will impact the full nodes that those exchanges are running. So we just need to make sure that we do that. We also need a mechanism to track that the miners are going to be accepting this change. Hopefully everyone in the community is comfortable that this is a good idea, and we're trying to figure out ways to vote for this. But in the end, if the miners don't accept it, then there could be a contentious hard fork, which we obviously want to avoid. And so we have to figure out some mechanism to track it. Bitcoin has something. I have not fully investigated that, but we'll definitely need 80% of the hash power signaling that they are ready to convert over. And lastly, we need to finalize the economics of the smart contract. We have to talk about if there's going to be a gas fee, and if there is, does the gas fee go 100% to the miner, or does it get burned? We'll have to figure that piece out. There's a comment, QT nodes need to change. There'll be new binaries for everything. So there'll be the console-based full node binary and QT-based binary, as well as the command line and the NFT version. NFTs will still be optional. So there'll be all new binaries for support of the virtual machine. That'll be necessary. All right, so I wrote up this little example because I know people say smart contracts, what does it do? I wanted to create an example, which is a common one, this lottery contract. So our contracts will have the same format as Ethereum in terms of the address. It's a 256-bit hexadecimal address. And so we will have both the BEC32 type addresses where it says DY1 and then all those strings, right? Those are going to be standard wallet addresses. And then the contract addresses will be this hexadecimal format that you'll all be familiar with. And so to interact with it, well, first of all, you're going to create the contract using the contract loader, or ultimately we'll probably put it into the wallet, into the web wallet, so you can just upload your code right in the web wallet and create a contract. You will to interact with it, you basically send tokens to the contract. And in this case, I've just demonstrated a very simple contract. It's a lottery, so you can play the lottery by putting in money into the play function. So I've given an example of 5 different people who sent different amounts to the play function, and then you can get the balance by calling the balance function. And then the owner of the contract can start and stop the contract. And you can see some of the logic and some of the ideas here. But the idea is that you'd write a fairly simple program in this case to execute all this logic. And then whenever you call it, it just executes the contract on the chain. And then if you win the lottery, you get the payout. So this is an example of what we might be able to do with smart contracts on the chain. Okay, and I want to talk a little bit about our play-to-earn games, what we have in the queue, and what the overall structure is. So we have our own, call it in-house developed one, Isle of Trials, 3D MMO. I've posted lots of sample artwork in the Discord, and we're coming up with a website very shortly, isleoftrials.com, that will have all kinds of neat marketing stuff, video and all that stuff. So the basic idea is that there is a free-to-play component which the Dynamo Foundation will fund on a regular basis. The free-to-play account has just one character and no land, so you can basically run around and kill things or gather and craft and be awarded Dynamo for those activities. You can, if you want to, upgrade your character through house purchases or other in-game items that will give you more powers, and then you can earn more Dynamo based on those purchases. It's a fairly simple kind of investment scheme. All of the assets that are in the game are NFTs on the blockchain, and those NFTs will be fully tradable both on the chain if you just want to sell it peer-to-peer, or through an NFT marketplace, which we'll set up using some WordPress templates. So this is well underway, and like I said, October 31st, we're hoping to launch the first version of this. It'll be very simple, just a tech demo, but we will demonstrate the ability to earn Dynamo within the game. So we have another still undisclosed partner that we're working with that has a 16v16 capture the flag style first-person shooter. They are interested in implementing NFTs and play to earn as an additional revenue stream. The discussions are taking a while, but this is a very legitimate publishing company, and they're definitely interested. They need a little bit of time to understand how crypto works. It's quite interesting, the difference between game development and crypto development. So this is definitely ongoing. And then we have now a second interested party. They have an existing published VR-based horror thriller game. It's a single-player game, but what they're talking about is having the ability for people to buy NFTs in the game, such as they have like this little Coke can or whatever. So you would be able to potentially own one of the Coke cans or the bottles or whatever, and put your advertising on it, so that when somebody else plays the game and they pick up the Coke can, because there's some implementation with that, they see your product logo or whatever else. So this is another thing that just came up. We're starting to get some traction on this. I also want to mention, just earlier today, we started talking about reviving older games, perhaps games that are open source or abandonware, if we can get the source code. I think that would be super interesting to be able to just have use cases again, right? People are looking for games to play where they can earn crypto. And this is a game that someone's familiar with. I can just imagine, Ultima 2 or something like that, right? Something very simple, but where you can play to earn crypto, right? That would be kind of cool. So that might be an interesting avenue for us to pursue as well. I'm going to start looking for some open source games that are out there we can implement. I did want to mention the company structure, because I know that we're mixing a lot of companies together here. So there is the Dynamo Foundation. That's a nonprofit Delaware C Corp, and that is responsible for keeping Dynamo alive, right? We do all the promotion and the coding and keeping the community going and all that kind of stuff, right? Dynamo Foundation is all about Dynamo Coin, getting it listed on more exchanges, getting the community input about smart contracts or proof of stake or proof of storage, all those things that are specific to the coin. The development of the game is actually a separate legal entity. That is a for-profit, Delaware LLC. That's going to produce Isle of Trials and also, like I said, evaluate some of the open source games. But that is, this is something that a company that's going to make money off of, right? And that's why, frankly, that's why we're all here, right? So I just want to be clear that Dynamo Foundation is not sponsoring the Isle of Trials game or any of the other games, and none of that is directly connected to it. Certainly, labor is shared across it, but Dynamo Foundation's only goal is to promote the coin, which, of course, having a game on the chain is great, but Dynamo is not building the game. It's a separate for-profit legal entity. And then separately again, we have this new company called 4 AM Unlimited LLC. That is a for-profit Delaware company, and that is producing the game platform, which is working with these other two studios to help game developers get onboarded into crypto. That is separate also from Isle of Trials, right? So Isle of Trials is our sort of proof of concept game that says, hey, look, we can build an MMO on crypto, but that's not the purpose ultimately of building a gaming platform, right? We're not trying to produce games. We're trying to build a platform that other publishers can get on. So there really are three separate entities all involved in this. Scan verification. All right, so that is the end of my presentation. We're going to do this every week. I'm going to go through, again, those first few slides. They'll all be the same. And then I will deep dive into whatever is happening that week. I would guess that next Saturday we'll be reviewing the launch of Isle of Trials. Maybe we'll do a little bit of streaming demo. Hopefully there'll be some other people playing with us. And we'll also review the project on the source, the smart contracts, and how far along we've gotten with that. I hope to be able to demonstrate some smart contracts working in testnet, hopefully in the next week or so. That's what we got. Thanks for watching. And if you have any things that you'd like us to cover, anything additional in the deck that you think there should be, we'll be happy to do that. Just leave it in the comments or hit us up on Discord. All the information is in the links below. for how to get in touch with us. Thanks.